Hump day, baby, what's good? Are y'all ready? Yeah. 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 34, my friends. uh. Yeah. Dirty for all my friends. We used to be cool. We used to be cool, y'all. Not no more. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go-get-'em-ism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. Talking about dirty former friends tonight. I said dirty former friends tonight. What you know? Dirty former friends tonight. We used to be dirty former friends. And I don't mean that they don't wash up. I'm told they turned their back, yo, it be like that sometimes. It's a bad beat, it's a bad rhyme. But yo, you used to be down. Now you can't hang around. They turn their back on you. They stab the back on you. Talk about your bad to the others. And the truth of y'all was brothers. Well, it be like that in life. But the kind of things cause strife. It's a bad look, baby. Leave you shook, maybe. You'll do it different next time. But right here, I'm here to warn. Yeah, from the day I spawn. Respawn. Call of Duty respawn. Are y'all ready tonight? Let's get it. Let's get it right. What's up, y'all? We talking about dirty former friends. Dirty former friends. What do y'all know about being friends with somebody and not being friends with somebody anymore? What do you know about speaking to somebody just about every day? What do you know about hanging out with somebody just about every day? And now, if people were to ask you how such and such is doing, either you wouldn't even want to entertain the answer, or should I say entertain the question, or you couldn't tell them. Block their number out of your phone, or they blocked you out of their phone. Sometimes it's a two-way street. Sometimes it's totally disconnected from each other. But you know, these are the days of our lives, and these are the things that we have to deal with. These are the things that we have to deal with. Everybody has former friends, but do they have dirty former friends? Do they have friends that they don't deal with anymore, but not on a good basis? Do you have anybody that you used to hang out with, somebody that you used to be cool with, somebody that was your ace boon coon, your right hand man, your wingman, swing man? And now, y'all ain't none of that. Y'all used to be two of that, now y'all ain't one of that. Y'all was all of that, now y'all ain't none of that. Do you understand? Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. We're going to have this conversation tonight. We are going to have this conversation tonight, and it's going to be a goodie. It's going to be a goodie one way or another, because I know for a fact that just about everybody can relate to this. Now, you know, probably from the time you were born, if you think about the friends that you have accumulated over that time, regardless of how old you are, you could be a teenager, you could be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up to a super senior citizen. More than likely, somebody that you used to be cool with, you're not cool with anymore. And when you really go back in your memory bank, when you really start thinking about how down y'all was, when you really think about how hard and how tough you used to hang with somebody, and you think like, how is it that we were that close for that long, and now there's nothing? Now you may have a clear picture to why y'all ain't cool like that, because if it was a situation where y'all just grew apart, like maybe y'all moved apart, or y'all grew apart after y'all went away, after y'all went to different schools or something like that. Let's say after high school, maybe they went to the army, maybe you went to college, or maybe y'all went to separate colleges or whatever. And you know, maybe, one of y'all starting a family and things like that. So you couldn't hang out the way that y'all used to, getting older, getting more mature, having responsibilities come into your daily lives like it wasn't before. Those are different. That doesn't make anybody dirty. I'm talking about when there has been an event that has separated the two of y'all that you can remember vividly in your mind, even when you try to put it in the back of your mind. Because when you think about how close you were with somebody, a good friend that might have been like a brother to you, and you get to thinking to yourself like, damn, man, that was my man or that was my girl, like we spent almost all of our waking moments with each other, all of our pivotal moments in life we shared together. Like he knew he was there when I took my first sip of alcohol, when I took my first smoke, when I first got some pussy. Who did I come home and tell? Like, yo, she gave it up. She let me do it. I couldn't believe it. Look, smell my fingers. Look, you smell that shit? It's crazy, ain't it? What the hell is this shit? Yes. That kind of shit. That kind of thing. And when you really think about the level of friendship that might have been on, it can hurt your feelings when you think about it. It can hurt your feelings when you really think about it. So how y'all feeling tonight, man? Varshay McDonald, what's good? Good to see me some you. You already know. And what's that? G.O.T. Jain? What's good? My man Oakland is in the house. Did you get your shirt yet? I'm thinking it should be there by now. Did you get it? Don't let me have to get the tracking number. Don't let me have to get the tracking number. And Ayush, what was that? Wait a minute. Yeah, Ayush Sutar. Play some rhythm. Account deleted. What's good? And Princess. Yo, good to see y'all here. Thanks for coming on through. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Dirty former friends. What do you know about being cool, being like this with somebody? What do you know about being like this with somebody at one time to being like this? Or you know what? I'm going to just take the other hand out of the equation because you don't even know where they at. Like when you think about somebody who used to be with almost every day or spoke to just about every day, and now you don't know their number, you don't know their address, you don't know their whereabouts, and that's probably for a reason that you promoted. Like, look at the poll. Look at the poll that we're talking about today. Look at the poll. If y'all haven't taken a look at the poll question, take a look at the poll question. What's the worst violation that a friend could commit? What is the worst violation that a friend could commit? Now, I broke it down into these 4 things. Of course, you know that it could have been way worse. There could have been way more options of how your friendship with somebody else could have ended. But look at the 4 that I put up there. Having sex with a love or a spouse. That's a violation, man. And so far, what's that? 56%? 56% of people who voted believe that that's the worst violation that you could commit. And I can't be mad at that. Stealing from you, 11%. Social media violations. What I mean by that is putting all your business out there on social media. Like, for example, you and your friend have a private conversation, or you just noticed that they posted something that pertains to a situation that you told them about, or that you are embroiled in. Like, they just happened to put up a post about children being born autistic or something like that. And I'm not talking about no random shit that could apply to anybody. I'm talking about something that you know that if that person posted that, they're talking about you. And the last one is being violent with you. Sometimes friends have gotten into fights. Now, I have never, for what it's worth, I've never been friends with anybody that I've had to fight. Yeah, if I gotta put pause on you, then I'm also gonna put a pause on you. If I gotta put pause on you, then I'm going to put the pause on you. Like it's over for you. The worst violation is not liking the Raiders. Then you ain't gonna have no friends, son. You ain't gonna have no friends. You ain't gonna have no friends, dog. X-Ray Koala, what's good? What's good, man? It's good to see you. Without a doubt. And Kareem Akbar Muhammad said the Raiders. Where we get Raiders fans, man? Y'all, the Raiders ain't done nothing. And how long? What was the last time? All right, the Raiders have been to the Super Bowl since year 2000, right? But they didn't win. They got their ass handed to them by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gave them their first Super Bowl win. But that was our fault because the Bucs should have never been in that Super Bowl. It should have been the Eagles. But we had Andy Reid back then. And that's when Andy Reid was Andy Reid, who couldn't coach against good coaching. That's when Andy Reid couldn't sniff a Super Bowl win. We had that Andy Reid. Now Kansas City got this Hall of Fame, winningest coach ever. This genius mind, Andy Reid. I'm like, the Philly Andy Reid will always be who I know. X-Ray Koala said, nah, if a fight comes, I'm starting it. I'm starting and stopping that. I hear that. He says, Raiders still suck. They do. They do. They got a chance to be good, but I mean, what are the real chances? Seriously. What are they real chances? X-Ray Koala says Philly got the best Nick Andy. I don't know. I'll tell you what. Here's an interesting fact. Here's an interesting fact about Andy Reid. Andy Reid used to never beat good coaching. He was a superstar during the regular season, just like now. But when he was with the Eagles, no matter how good he was during the regular season, when he would come up against somebody like Bill Belichick, or like if you were a good coach who really knew how to coach, you would beat Andy. You would beat Andy. And that's why we never won a Super Bowl, and we're never going to win a Super Bowl with Andy Reid. It was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. That's why I don't miss him. He was the best until Nick, until Doug Peterson. He was the best Eagles coach ever because we did win the most under him, but he didn't get the job done. And Nick got the job done. Nick is the only coach that got us to the Super Bowl twice. No other Eagles coach has done that. So, do I remember Ray Rhodes? Lord. Ray Rhodes wasn't a bad coach, but he wasn't ever going to win nothing. With that West Coast offense, switching up quarterbacks like that, wouldn't commit to any quarterback, got rid of Randall. I wasn't feeling it. What's that? Oh, Gordo Legends, what's good? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. All right, that's what's up. I mean, they let me ride the algorithm now. Y'all get notifications, or y'all just happen to be up tonight, or however it goes. I'm glad y'all came. Appreciate you. So what's the topic? The topic of tonight is dirty former friends. Dirty former friends. That's what we talking about tonight. So we talking about those ex-friends, whether they ex-friends, best friends, not ex-girlfriends or ex-boyfriends though. We just talking about your boys or your girls. You know what I mean? Friends are very necessary in a life. The more we try to act like we don't really need friends, or we try to X, no pun intended, the social culture out of our lives, No, if you really think about it, your personality is defined by your friends. I'm not saying that they make your personality, but your personality is who is what attracts your friends to you. And it's also what keeps people near you. Do me a favor, y'all. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Hit the like button. You only got to do it one time. I ain't going to ask you to do nothing else. I ain't going to ask you to do nothing else. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Look, I said I wasn't going to ask you to do nothing else. I just had two other things. But those things are optional. Please hit the like button. We need that. It helps the channel. I need all the help I can get. Let me see. X-Ray Koala says problems was as a Patriots fan, he was always a problem though. You know if you were against them in the playoffs, shit was going to get tough. Well, how come he ain't never beat y'all if it was so tough? How come he never beat y'all? Andy Reid has never beaten Tom Brady. Well, he beat him in a regular season, but he ain't never beat him in the playoffs. Andy Reid didn't even win a Super Bowl until the Eagles won first. Did anybody notice that? Andy Reid did not win a Super Bowl until we won the Super Bowl. I don't think he would have won it if we wouldn't have won it. No bullshit. He has the worst clock management, worst time management of any coach I've ever seen. And he's terrible with making adjustments. He is. He's bad at making adjustments. So if the team that he has all of this great athletic ability and they're just superior in talent, he'll win. If that's not the case, he'll lose. Look at what happened to Kansas City. They would have won. They would have pulled off the three-peat against anybody else. But the Eagles know how to make adjustments. They didn't always know how, because Nick is not the greatest coach I've ever seen. But Nick is effective in his own ways. I still don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it exactly. There's something about Nick. All right, so hold on. We got a call already? All right.
You have a call.
Fuck it. I wouldn't normally do it this early.
Go to Legend.
All right. What's going on, Go to Legend? How are you? What's on your mind tonight?
I just want to speak to you about what is the actual topic though, because I had to weigh into it, but the technology kind of rinsed my mind.
The topic of tonight is dirty former friends. So we're talking about people that you used to be friends with, that you're no longer friends with, and they played dirty. In other words, y'all broke up under not just suspicious circumstances, but y'all parted ways on bad terms.
Well, then the term called acquaintances, they're not your friends, because I haven't talked to my friend in over maybe 5 months, and we talked and we just hit it off like we did. But to people who just on the bad terms as acquaintances, they never liked you.
Well,
they're not friends.
Can you really say that they never liked you?
Well, it depends on who you are though, because they might take advantage of you. They're trying to oversee you. They might be jealous and trying to copy your style. So yeah, I call them acquaintances. Your friend would never do that. But it's just your friend would be like, hey, oh, I haven't heard from you in 5 years. It's like, how you doing? And it's like, hey, yo, how you doing? That's friends. But it's like, ooh, I'm gonna blah blah blah. That's acquaintances, not friends.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about dirty former first friends that you were definitely friends with, that you definitely hung out on a regular basis with, that you definitely spoke to maybe every day or so. I'm talking about somebody you were really, really cool with, and now you're not cool with them anymore. You may not even have a working number for them or an address or any of that kind of stuff, and it's on purpose. Y'all didn't just drift apart. Y'all didn't just, go in different directions. I'm talking about a catastrophic event of importance that made you say, you know what, we can't be friends anymore. You know, something like, you know, he hit on your wife or fucked your girl or ratted to the cops on you or something like that. I'm talking about when I say dirty, they're dirty former first friends because they did something to you that was a violation. And they might play dirty. Like let's say they definitely violated you, but they went and told everybody else that you're just mad because you're jealous of them. So they never acknowledge what they've done to you, but they'll create the narrative in other people's minds that you were really the problem. You just have sour grapes. Like, he's just mad because I make more money than him and I'm doing well and he's struggling. Never told anybody that, you know, he stole from you or that he, you know, that he tried to talk to your girl or that he, you know, stopped you from getting something that you were supposed to get and you found out about it. He doesn't tell anybody that. He plays dirty. So that's what we're talking about.
Okay, so then that's an acquaintance because, like, I have friends, male friends, and I'll just, like, I'll straight up say it like, yo, your woman hit on me, she's a hoe. And then he might beat me up for saying that, calling her a hoe, but it's just like he's trying to hit on me. But the thing is, like, men have to understand that not every woman that you marry is like a saint. Mm-hmm. So I would, in that situation, I would have to say that it have to be the judgment of the both parties, and I don't want to be a third wheel. But the thing is, men has to operate in a way that is just like, the more money you make, the more gold diggers you're gonna get. Gold diggers only care about your bag.
So let me get this straight. If your man, I don't care if your wife was with it. If your man fucked your wife, that's your man?
No, he's not my friend. He's an acquaintance.
No, he wasn't an acquaintance.
My wife.
No,
I thought we were friends, but
listen, an acquaintance is somebody that you casually know. Like that
like
could be
a drug dealer, somebody working at Walmart, somebody who works at like.
I'm not talking about that because your
friend is somebody you trust. A friend is somebody you trust.
Okay, so they can't become an acquaintance when they do wrong. You know what I mean? You can't reduce them to an acquaintance after they do you wrong. They were a friend, and that's why it was a violation. If somebody that you barely know or you only know them by name or face or something like that, you know, you might consider them to be you cool with them or whatever. You don't have any beef with them. But if they do some slimy shit to you, it's not like you didn't know them like that anyway. But if somebody,
that's true.
If somebody,
let your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're hypothetical friends because my friends let me sleep around in their house and let me sleep with their wife or girlfriend, and I have no desire to bang them. I'm a good friend because I was like, oh, this is woman. I was like, cool. This is like, hey, I need something to eat. Are you gonna cook something or I want to cook something? So I have no desire. But a lot of dudes other than me will try and bang your wife when you're at work or your girlfriend at work. And that's diabolical. So yeah, men need to be more cautious with who they're banging or get into a relationship with. That's how I feel about it, though.
Man, listen. Even if my wife is shady, that's one. My man, going for it. Okay.
Yeah, because he's not your friend though. He's just been trying to clutch onto you, and he's an acquaintance trying to bang your woman for the longest. He's never been your friend. Simple as that. He's never been your friend.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
He was just trying to get access to her and bang her.
I understand what you mean by he was never a real friend, but that doesn't mean he wasn't a friend to you, because he was. He may have been he may have checked all the other boxes. Like maybe he shared things with you. Maybe he lent you money. Maybe maybe he was cool with your family, helped you out with certain things. But he did this one thing. He did this one thing that was inexcusable and unforgivable.
Well, because I agree with you, because he's like wolves in sheep clothing. And also, too, I would say he's an acquaintance and never been your friend. So you have to understand that. Because it's like diabolical and wrong because you help him or you help each other out and he result to like banging your wife. That's like the worst thing you could ever do.
It is. Okay, but let's take it away from your wife for a minute. What if you had like an adult daughter and he fucked your daughter?
Depending on how age, is my daughter over 18?
I said an adult daughter. So let's say she was
adult, so 21 then.
You know what? I'm gonna make it a little less of a violation. Let's say she was 25 and let's say he was 45. You okay with that?
Actually, no problem. If he doesn't like hit her and like try to like subjugate her, I don't think there's any like moral problem. Because if I have a daughter though, like a son, I'm like I don't care. But like a daughter is like I'm getting a desert eagle and engraving a name. So it's like when I come into the house, I'm kicking over the door and the desert eagle is going to his face if he hit my daughter. Simple as that.
So let me get this straight. If your friend who's closer to your age has sex with your daughter.
I'm 39.
Okay. All right. But he's 45. So you're.
Ooh, what do you look so? You look younger than me. What the hell?
No,
wait. You look like.
What are you talking
about? You look like early 30s though.
Who?
You.
I'm 54.
What the hell? Damn, you need to teach me your secret. Oh, sorry to interrupt. But go ahead, explain this to me, please.
Okay. So I'm saying if your friend was 45 years old and your daughter was 25 years old and without you knowing it, he had sex with your daughter. Now, he didn't rape her or anything like that, but, you know, he was hanging around your daughter. He hit on her and they got together and now they're dating or whatever. You good with that?
Well, I have no issue if he doesn't try and lay a finger on her, and also if he treat her nicely. So I mean, I'm not gonna stop them from dating. I have no issue with that. I don't see any problem because she's 25. So I don't think I have an issue. I cannot tell a woman. Huh?
Well, that's interesting because I would fucking knock my friend the fuck out.
Oh, my friend trying to bang my daughter?
Yeah. What?
Oh, well then I was sure like, yeah, I would be like, okay, I thought it was, yeah, no. If it was my friend, then fuck no, you're gonna get a knuckle sandwich to maximum and I'll show you what fucking wushu kung fu and every karate kicks is like your backup because you're trying to groom and take advantage of my daughter underneath my watch.
Okay.
So yeah, it will be a problem. So I'm sorry, I didn't answer any question fully. So yeah, it will be a problem. They get full of knuckle sandwich within like the next like 2 seconds, then it's just like I'm just gonna get out of my fucking house, and then it's just like.
Okay, so if he wasn't your friend, you're okay with a 45-year-old dating a 25-year-old?
Well, I would have to tell her that just like, yo, you have to be careful. And also too, like give her advice and not to get betrayed and not be like a, how should I say it? Like, you know, like a little thing with people use as like a pin cushion. Yeah. So don't be a hoe. That's what I have to say.
Okay. I'm not co-signing no 45-year-old dating a 25-year-old, but that's just me. That's too big of an age difference. I'm not doing it. I'm not going for it.
I'm sorry. Maybe. Can you tell me like the age gap though? Because I was born in 2086, and my dad and my mom has like a good gap between like 40 years, and I think I turned out okay. So I don't think that's necessarily okay to say, but I mean, maybe it's horrible, but it's fine.
Yeah, for me, I say no. Not no 20 years. At an older age, let's say a 60-year-old and a 40-year-old, have at it. But a 20-year-old with a 40 something year old, I mean a 20 something year old with a 49 something year old with a 20-year age gap. Nah, I'm not doing that.
Okay, so a 30-year-old and a 20-year-old, like what's wrong with that situation?
Wait, a what one? A what? How old and how?
A 30-year-old with a 20-year-old. What's wrong with that situation?
I don't have a problem with that.
Why?
Because number one, it's only 10 years and they're not that far apart.
So what is your epitome of like the age group? Because I have my age group as 39, if you want to ask me, but go ahead. I need to know.
If when I was 39, I wouldn't date somebody that was like in their younger 20s. You know what I mean? Like when I was 39, I wouldn't date somebody that was 23. It's too far.
So why would you think that now?
Because you have to think about where you are mentally and emotionally at certain ages. Anybody in their 20s, they have so much developing, so much emotional and intellectual developing that needs to take place. You know, when you're in your 20s, you think you know a lot. But when you get into your 30s and your 40s, you realize how little you understood when you were in your 20s. So somebody in their 40s fully understands what a 20 something year old knows.
Well, I agree with you because 25 is when the brain actually fully develops. So I actually agree with you. So keep talking.
Yeah. So I don't think that is right. I think it's actually predatory for somebody in their 40s to be dealing with somebody in their 20s because when you're in your 40s, you there's a good chance that you may have children in their 20s. So like, what the fuck? That's one thing.
Oh, that is super true. You're right.
Of course it's true. So
no, it's a fact. What you just said is a fact.
Yeah,
it's not true.
So all right. So basically, you're dealing somebody with the mentality of your children. So have you really raised your children?
So I have to divert a little bit away, but I'm 39, so my age in group is like 29 and 60.
29 and 16. Did you say 60?
Yeah, no, 60.
29 and 60?
No, 29 and 60, yeah, 60.
Wait a minute. What? Let me make sure I understand what you're saying, because I don't think I do.
I'm 39. I'll go a decade into 29ness.
Okay. Oh, 39 and 29. That's not. That's fine. I don't see how anybody can have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. Another thing is when you're in your 30s, you're thinking more long term about where your life is going. Like maybe you're trying to really establish a family. You're trying to build wealth for your family. In your 40s, you should already have those things in place. Not saying that you will, because anybody can take a step back. You never know you never know what life is gonna hand to you. But the mentality of knowing where you should be in life, you are aware of that in your 40s. You know where you should be.
No. I'm 39. I'm not 40 yet.
No. I'm just saying as far as the example that I was talking about originally.
No. You're super smart, so I have to I don't want to hold up, but let me get a 5 minute to maybe 7 minute monologue. But it's if a young girl who is over the age of 21 wants to try and mount me or try and I'm not gonna give her that money. I'm just hey, you're a little bit too old for me. But if she says it's I'm just I'm not care for the blah blah blah. It's I will not say no, but she cannot be underneath the age of 21. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I understand. I wouldn't. in my late 30s, I wouldn't mess with nobody in their early 20s. Now, as a matter of fact, when I was 39, I wouldn't date a 25-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, because
What?
I wouldn't do it.
Go ahead.
Because I know where I was mentally at 39. I'm on my way.
Well, don't let that walk too much, but you're extremely smart though. So let's let that be hold. But yeah, I mean, I'm 39, and I'm just like I don't really care because I'm single, not married.
And I was single and not married at 39 also. But
you're super smart though.
I'm not super smart. I'm just, I just think about what I do.
Well, don't let anyone tell you that you're not smart because I am like a scientist when I tell you that you are.
You said super smart. I'll say I'm smart, but I don't know about super smart.
Yeah, I'm a scientist, and actually, I'm a scientist, and also too, actually a psychologist. And you are super smart. You blow my mind. But let's talk about this though. So, what's your dating range? Because mine's is. You know what? Let me be quiet because I think we talked too much. Sorry. Let me. If you want to keep me in the room, I'll mute myself.
Wait a minute. Well, with all due respect, are you gay?
That's something a woman will say if I'm gay because I want to be celibate and I don't want to back none because I'm like a person of God.
Okay.
I'm not a diddle or dude. No, thank you. Even though dudes try, I think it's like, you see this? It's like, you better back up. So, what would you ask me if I'm gay, though? Let's just talk about it.
Because I'm not gay in any kind of way.
Okay, so what would you think that I'm gay?
No, I didn't say you were gay. I asked if you were gay. Because you seem to.
No, I said no.
Oh, you're not gay. Oh, okay, all right.
I never did
I don't know, something awkward, something really awkward just happened.
I'm not. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. We're not gay.
Oh, all right, just something.
Myself though, no. I don't want to go to the pits of, bro. Like, okay, so I'm gonna stop speaking. But can you apologize for calling me gay or assuming I'm gay?
I didn't assume that you were gay. You said something you asked about dating range or some shit. I was wondering where you were going with that. Because
my dating range of women though leading you.
Oh, okay. I'm just
no. Okay, fine. I accept your apology. But are you a feminist? Because only feminists call men gay who just like have their preference.
How could I be a feminist?
Are you a feminist?
No. How can a man be a feminist?
Because you asked me if I'm gay.
Motherfucker, you said some gay shit.
Oh, tell me. Okay, that's fine. Quote what I said it was gay.
Okay, first of all, you asked what was my dating range, and then you did something awkward, like you paused, like, oh, I maybe we shouldn't talk about that. I don't know what you was talking about. You know what I mean? So that's why.
Oh, no. Use your voice. My dating age group is because I told you I was 39, and my dating age group is 29. Females only.
Okay,
cool. 29
and
60. How many dudes do you want to bang between your dating group though? And let's talk about it though.
All right. As long as we understand each other. Okay. So yeah, as far as age ranges are concerned, but for me personally, I don't think that it's cool to go more than 10 years at a younger age. 15 years.
I don't want you to agree with me. I want you to.
I'm not agreeing with you. I'm telling you.
Because you said I want to say with your true gay sex, gay heart. Because you know you gay. So I want to say you're a gay heart. Like, tell me what you think is like the preferred. Because I already told you my dating group and I told you my age. So like I already calculated it though. So stop playing with me, sir.
What are you talking about?
You need to be okay. So, have you ever had gay sex?
No.
Okay, well, so why are you judging me for like wanting to date women in my category between like 29 and
Hold on. Let me ask you something. Where are you from? Where's your accent from?
Formerly, well, I'm Caribbean.
Okay, because I'm thinking maybe there's a language barrier or something like I'm going
It's
on
not
here.
a language barrier. You capping?
No, I'm not capping. It's obvious that you're not fully American born.
No, I am fully American born in the Caribbean when before they get sold people to America. So you're wrong. I'm not
You
even an
clearly
adult,
have an
man.
accent, sir. You are not a fully born and raised American. You clearly have an accent that shows that you are from somewhere else. You do not
Okay,
sound
so
like an
I'm.
American born person.
You don't have to yell at me.
I do because you act like you don't understand. You
No,
are.
I
I
understand.
can
But what you
clearly
say is
hear your accent. Why did you?
confusing one on one.
Why if I didn't hear your accent,
Hold
why
on,
would
no,
I
no, no, no,
ask?
no, no. I love you under this flare. So let's calm down and then like I am stupid. Let's like reclaim it because I don't want you to yell. Because I actually consider you the most loveliest people never. That's why I love the Caribbean to be amongst y'all. Okay?
Listen, I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to get back on the topic, which
Thank
was
you.
dirty former friends. Now, I explained to you earlier about how about what the subject is and how I define it. So, dirty former friends are people that you were cool with, maybe very close with, maybe considered them to be brothers or whatever, and they have betrayed you, done something wrong to you. They have violated your trust in some type of way, and maybe they took no accountability for it. Maybe they even tried to sour your name in the minds of other people. That's what we're talking about tonight.
Okay, so yeah, let's call it acquaintances because if you don't give them any food or any money or bear or whatever you're doing because you are good, they try and backstab you. That's the simplest way I could put it. Backstabbers.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, they're not acquaintances. You didn't just an acquaintance is somebody that you just met. An acquaintance is not somebody that you know very well. When I'm talking, what we're talking about is somebody that was like a brother to you, somebody that was a real friend, not an acquaintance, not somebody that you knew in passing, not a friend of a friend, not an associate. I'm talking about somebody you talked to every day, saw every day, hung out with every day, shared things with, did things with, trusted with your personal information. That's what I'm talking about, not an acquaintance. And they did you dirty. Maybe they did a whole 360 on you. So you thought you knew them well, but they showed you a side of themselves that you never saw coming and that you could never recover from.
Sometimes evil people will take a long game just to catch you in a nice spot because thinking that you're a friend, like Lucifer or whatever demon you could think, like Baphomet. But they will do the long game and think you're a friend. That's why I call them acquaintances because you have to have like a good questionnaire for them and just like would you and just like put them in a situation and see their actual true character. So yeah, what the situation you're talking about, they're actually like evil, and they've been probably doing that from the brink of the moment they met you because they're scammers and they're evil, straight up bad people. I don't even want to call them acquaintance. So yeah, it happens, man. I call them acquaintances. They're not friends.
Well, well, they're now your former friends, so you could even consider them to be your enemies now
No,
because
no, no, hold on. You don't think it like that. You thought they was your friend, but they're acquaintances. But it's like that's the only way to actually gravitate because you have to understand that they're the pure enemy because they do all that to like f you over. So that's not so yeah.
well,
So call them acquaintances, not friends, because they're acquaintances who
no,
try and betray you.
They
They
weren't. They
betrayed your
weren't.
trust, and
They
they
weren't.
like betray you and like scam you and like took everything possible, and then like liquidate. Like who knows what happened, what it was doing it because they're evil.
No,
Evil
I
like
can't. I can't be betrayed by an acquaintance. I can only be betrayed by a friend. An acquaintance can't betray me. They can hurt me. They can violate me, but they can't betray me. I can only. The only way somebody can betray me is if I trusted them, and if I trusted you, then I considered you to be a friend, not an acquaintance. I don't trust acquaintances.
mm.
I trust friends. I trust family. So that's the difference.
Well, I consider you as like a brother underneath God, though, so I would consider you my friend. But I'll tell you just straight up, I was like, I'm a warrior of God, so I'm not gonna be in your house unless people act correctly. Because well, whether it's just like, ooh, nice meal and fucking bounce, because there's a lot of demon stuff happening on earth. So I'm a warrior of God. But
Well,
however, though,
what?
you deserve to be treated respectfully, and no one steals from you. So when someone steals from you, they're not your friend. You're not their friend, or did anything that Neanderthal is to you, Neanderthalism to you. They're not your friend. They're just playing the long game to try and like take your property, possession, and all this other stuff. So
Well, I don't know. It's there are a lot there are a lot of other things to unpack in this situation because nobody is perfect. So even though a person or a former friend is dirty, that doesn't necessarily mean that you weren't dirty also. Y'all, there may have been a time when y'all did dirt together, like partners in crime. So maybe neither one of you were holier than thou, but let's say the two of you were partners in crime, and then you committed when you committed a crime, your friend told on you to the cops. Maybe he didn't have to. Maybe he got caught by the cops for an unrelated crime, and in order to get off the hook, he told on you. So it's not that you're a great person. It's not like you're this law-abiding citizen. It's not like you are this really candidate for Father of the Year or the world's best friend. It's not that. But nonetheless, y'all were partners in crime. Y'all were partners, y'all were brothers, and y'all did dirt together. But he did you in. He did you dirty.
okay, so can I speak? Can you finish?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm done.
Okay, so yeah, partners in crime. So yeah, somebody has to like get away with the money, or somebody has to become a snitch until you like snitch on them, and then they fucking find where the person is. So they're snitching on people. So that's like a weird scenario. But however, though, I will never have friends or not like that because I'm telling you, like no one will be able to witness me because I'll turn true demon. But as a person who doesn't want to like murder human beings or steal, I work like a worker bee. So like, and so in the case of the scenario, I would say like I don't give a fuck. But just when you talk about me, who we did in this bad deal, I'm just like, oh fuck no, it's who snitch, and I'm just like, I have money, and just like, he gonna get shot the moment he walk outside of fucking the prison with a sniper rifle because I'll pay for it. That's how I feel because I served in the military, so that's how I feel. If you want to be real.
Okay. Okay. Well, but like I said, in this scenario, there are a lot of different ways that this could play out. And I'm trying to take all of those ways into consideration because there isn't always one way to be right or one way to be wrong in a situation.
What you said is a pure fact. What you said is a pure fact. Because also so sometimes I like to like stick my hand up in the air and pray, like not pray, but like ask the cosmos for energy. On Earth, there's a little tiny insect like so. I guess we want to say anything else before you have to leave, sir.
No. Thank you for calling in. Sorry about the crazy mix up of whatever that shit was earlier.
No, it's okay. I'll call back though because like I will always call back because I respect you. So yeah, I'll call back sometime in the future. But yeah, I love your channel and also too are you like what are you like a Muslim or are you a Christian?
Something like that.
Okay,
My
well
friend used to
then
call
I
me a
hope the
Christian.
universe treats you and also too or the deities treat you nice. Godspeed or not Godspeed. God bless. Oh,
God bless. That
thank
works.
you.
All right, have a good night, man. All right, good shit. Confusing as hell, but fuck it. Oakland, stop talking crazy. What up, Kim's Wims? What up, my man, my brother Troy Diesel? All right, so y'all get the gist of what we talking about tonight, man. We talking about dirty former friends. Dirty former friends. Let's do this shit right. We are talking about people that you used to be cool with, people that you used to be like this with, people that used to have your back no matter what. And now y'all all of that has dissipated. All of that has disappeared. All of that has gone away. Hold on.
You have a call from
Troy.
So both of y'all just gonna come at the same time, huh? Yeah. That just this shit here, boy. Wasn't God's name. Heavy as hell.
Well,
right.
I think it's best that I be quiet and let Miss Williams speak. You know, she had so much to say Sunday.
Okay, hold on. Before y'all get hold on. Both of y'all, before y'all get started, hold on. I want to give a shout out to my man Seika Sala. I'm gonna cover these things that they were talking about. Seika Sala says, I remember a younger dude from my neighborhood got with a girl, and that I was seeing at the time. Shorty tried to get him all caught up, but he came to me and apologized to me, and I told him he did me a favor. I hear that. And see, but that's the difference. That's what I was trying to explain to the caller. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can say that your wife is dirty for fucking your boy, but your boy dirty is just as dirty. You know what I mean? He should have been nowhere near that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't how you gonna be cool after that? And I've known people who tried to play that shit like, yo, man, I told you she wasn't nothing but a hoe. I did you a favor. Like, no, you ain't do nothing but get your dick wet. What we talking about? What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see if it was somebody out there in the streets, but you supposed to be my man. You came back after smashing my wife or my girl or whatever. Like, regardless of how you felt about her, you knew how I felt about her. So on the strength of me, you should have never been near that situation. But okay. All right. But that's
honestly, this girl's for fucking up pretty bad right there.
Oh, that's more than we'll get to that in a later.
Matter of fact, let me just go a little bit deeper.
No. Whoa. Let me read Oakland's example. Oakland says, I remember I lended one of my friends a car because he was homeless, but he ended up moving like to somewhere like Washington, and I saw an IG post of him with my car saying, hey y'all, look at this car I bought. Wow. Wow.
How you get Oakland? That's my brother. My man Oakland. He said, I knew Troy was gonna call in.
But the line was open and he didn't call in. So I don't understand that Tyler was useless.
I told him to.
And he said, I know he blocked me, so I can't call him to say it's fine. Wow. That's crazy.
I'll get off the line so he can call in.
He wasn't talking about calling in here. He was talking about
okay.
Yeah, nah, we good.
You ain't hanging the hell up.
Shout out to Guado Legends. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Without a doubt. Thanks, mucho.
Let me ask you a question, son. Do you have neighbors?
Listen, man, you know what? When I came home tonight, My neighbor came outside like, "What up, oh? It was good." I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" You know what I mean? He came out to tell me that he saw my account on TikTok. I was like, all right, you know what I mean? So they know how I get down. But it's funny. But it's funny because until he came out, I never really thought about the noise I be making. I'll be like, this is my motherfucking crib. I ain't gonna be. I mean, let me get my shit off real quick. But hey, I'm about to get some. I'm about to get some soundproof put up anyway.
You crazy?
I really am. I'm about to do that.
Now you gonna get some up?
I'm doing it for me though, so I have a more studio type of feel. So don't get it. I ain't doing it for them. I'm doing it for me. Yeah.
So what's up, Miss Williams?
Good time down. How y'all doing?
Everything good. So y'all,
did you didn't happen to cut all your hair off, did you?
Maybe. Let's get into this topic before we get off track. So, this is a good one. I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday because, of course, whenever I decide to stop talking to people or communicating, it's always, Kim, you got to be the bigger person, and you just got to this, and you know how they are. I don't give a fuck how people are. They should know how I am. Like, I'm a loyal friend until I'm not. Like, if we good, we good. I believe in riding or dying together. I believe if I got it, you got it. If you need, I got you. You don't need if I have it. If we friends, we friends. It's just that simple for me. And that's because I don't keep a wide circle of people I call friends. Like, my group is my group and that's it. So if you betray me, and it takes a lot for me to finally be done, but when I'm done, fuck you. We're not enemies. You don't even exist in the space I'm in at that point. And that includes family too, because they forget too. So everybody can get it. Everybody's a part of that.
Well, a lot
and
of people.
I don't believe in that. Huh?
No, go ahead and talk.
I don't believe in that. We get over it after a while, kind of, because that's a tough one for me. Like, people think if I'm walking around holding a grudge, I'm not holding a grudge. It's just when you have broken ties, that's it for me. Maybe some years down the line, we'll get it together again. And somebody had to learn the hard way. It took that. It took about 15 years before I started speaking to him again. And I think the only reason why is because we had a shared death. And it wasn't I'm going to lose him, let me make it right kind of thing. It was, all right, it might be time now. That's all it was. That was it. And it was, let me see how you act. And then I let them back in. They fucked up again. So now I'm good completely. And that's a never return from kind of thing. I'm doing it 3 times and all that shit. It's just simple because, like I said, it takes a lot to cross that threshold with me. But once you do, it is a wrap. And there's no discussion about it. I'm not going to argue. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just going to be done.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And that betrayal to me is, like, if you accuse me of something that shuts down my character. So that would be saying I'm a shitty mother. Like, what? That's a problem. That's a problem. If you steal from me, that's a problem. Because none of mine will ever have to take shit from you. You don't have to take nothing from me. When I say I got it, I got us. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If it's $10, or 10,000. I got us.
Okay, sugar pie, honey
Nobody
bun.
has to steal. But it's sad though. Nobody has to steal from me. But if you steal from me, that means to me it feels like you've been plotting it the whole time.
You feel violated.
Yeah, it is a violation. If somebody broke in my house, that's a violation. And that's what that feels like because I trusted you with everything. And you steal from me? No, we are good.
You
And
know,
it makes a different person come out of me. And I think that's the problem for me. It makes a different person come out of me. And it's not a person I'm happy or comfortable with. So you wake up something in me that I try to suppress on a regular basis. That's not fair. It's not fair to me and my mental. It's not fair to my peace. And then they act like, well, I just took. Like a few years ago, I let a friend of a friend come and stay. He needed a place to stay, and it turned into an emergency situation. So I let him come and stay. And I was good, because you're my friend's friend. Okay, we good. And he stole out of my house. And it was such a tiny thing. But it was just the fact that he stole in his head. He couldn't believe I was making such a big deal out of something small. But it was like, why the fuck would you steal from my house? Yeah, it was some change in a bank that belonged to my niece. But why did you steal it?
yeah.
And that I'm 5'6.5". This man is every bit 6'6", a smooth 350 pounds. And in that moment, I didn't care if he was 7,000 feet tall. It made me swing on him. Because what are you doing in my house stealing from me?
Yeah, I mean,
That's not my normal character.
That's a fact.
But you put me in a bad situation because you stole from me. And it wasn't about I needed. It was just the fact that I trusted you in my house. I trusted you with my things. I trusted you with my life. And you stole from me.
Well, see,
So betrayal is a big deal for me. Betrayal, dishonesty, that shit. I don't fuck my nigga. If he fucking you, then we ain't good anyway. Like he was never part of my world anyway.
No, what I'm saying is this. You can only be betrayed by somebody that you trusted in the first place. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, somebody that you are loosely cool with or just associated with, they can't betray you. You know what I mean? They can violate you, but they can't betray you. When you've been betrayed, it's that's when you thought something was or was sure that something was one way and they proved to you that it was a whole different way. And now y'all can never be the way that you thought that y'all were before. Betrayal is all about not being able to ever get back to that comfortable place or that good place where you used to be. You know what I mean? Like the person who you thought that you was cool with, you realize like, oh yeah, I was wrong about everything. So you know, now we gotta go a whole different way on this whole association between you and I. But
it makes you feel like they think you are a punk or weak or ain't shit.
It's not
That's
that.
how I feel.
It's not that.
When you betray me, that means you sitting back looking at me like, I can fuck her over. That's what it feels like.
It's part of that. It's definitely part of that. Yeah. But the other thing is when people steal from you, they stealing from you because they think that you got it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, some people think that you have everything and they have nothing, even if you only have a little. But they look at it like, you have it to lose, and so they take it away from you. It's a character flaw. It's something fucked up because I would never steal nothing from nobody that I know. I would never consider doing that. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Even going back to the tapes and CDs, that I'm not going to take your fucking tape. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take your CDs or whatever. You know, not that they cost all that much money, but, you know, it's an item that you enjoy. And I know how it feels to have that taken away from you. You know, so when we talk about dirty former friends, we're talking about people that you were cool as shit with, in contact on a steady basis, maybe every day or, you know, a few times a week, something consistent and regular. And now, because of what they've done, you may not have their number, may have blocked them, they may have blocked you, whatever. But what makes them dirty is what they did times how they handled it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Somebody can do you dirty, and if you believe that they are genuinely sorry or whatever, you may not ever fuck with them as heavy as you fucked with them before, but you may be able to say, well, all right. You know what I mean? Like at least your conscience shine through. So take the situation where somebody slept with your man or your woman. So it could be like, well, let's say your friend came to you and they said, you know, I got something heavy on my heart. I really don't want to blow up the spot or whatever, but you know, we almost did, but we didn't. But I think that you should know because, you know, I was a part of it, and I'm not trying to absolve myself of all guilt or whatever. But, you know, like we got into this. Now, I'm not saying that that's even a smart thing to do, because if neither one of y'all went through with it, then it's not a good situation it's probably not a good idea to wake that bear of suspicion up. You know what I mean? If y'all both exercise self-control in time to not follow through, that's one thing. But let's say one of y'all had let's just say y'all found religion and now you want to purge and shit. Well, yeah, I almost did it. We did kiss and I did suck her titties. All right, I finger popped her a little bit. All right, but she didn't give me head, but she did give me a hand job. But, you know, but that was it. That was it. Oh, that was it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, motherfucker.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'd be like, look, you ain't even Catholic. What's all this?
What are you crying for?
Shit happens. You know what I mean? Now the way you handle that situation is going to be different from person to person. But that's probably not the person that you're going to put on the dirty ex-friends list. You know, they fucked up, but at least they took some accountability. The dirty the dirty former friend is the one that followed through, lied to you and said that it never happened, went back to people and told them that you just mad at them because you knew that your wife liked him or liked me or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like dirty. You know you actually did fuck them, but you acted like you pretended that you didn't. You lied about doing it. And then you went and told people that I was just mad at you. Like I'm just having these delusions that somebody is trying to get with my wife. When in all reality, y'all been fucking. That's a dirty former friend. That's dirty.
I mean, that's just the rules of engagement after that is, that's on that Snoop Dogg shit. Murder was the case that they gave me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that right. I mean, both of them. You know, I think I would black out.
Okay.
Well, I think I would black out. To both of y'all.
Whether you black out on them or not, the bottom line is that's a dirty former friend. Now it's not like
that's not even a former friend. That's the worst. I'm trying to see what kind of enemy he could be. You know what I mean? That's the worst enemy in the world right there.
Yeah. Well,
once you cross them barriers, there's no other barrier you can cross.
Well, like I said, former friend. They're a dirty former friend. Because had you not found out what they did, y'all would still be friends.
Yeah.
Hanging out, chilling, sharing personal information, cooling out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean,
so
I told you about the situation with my mom and the shit that I went through with my family on doing that.
now we ain't talking about family. We talking about friends. No, non-bloodline.
No blood.
If we do family,
like
we'll be in all kinds of directions.
That situation right there, I've never had a person to go outside their realm to steal for me or to do something like that.
Okay.
No, I mean, I haven't had nobody go outside their realm like that because I think not that I'm a tough guy and I'm a thug and not like that, but you know, the mutual respect we have for one another, they have an understanding not to do that.
Okay.
Now, the only thing I do remember is that when I was in college, right, and one of my boys that hooked me up with this, you know, I said, let me try this up. I was going through problems with black women. I said, let me try white women. So I was dealing with this girl named Kelly, and I mean, she came pick me up. Shit, she turned me on Babyface. I was like, damn, white girl know about Babyface. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting up there, we going out, going to clubs and everything. I'm doing my little dancing to the house music that you don't like, son.
Sure don't.
I'm sitting up. I'm sitting up here enjoying life, this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, my boy Derek went behind my back, screwed her. And then he screwed, and it wasn't, really, it didn't really hurt me because at the end of the day, he screwed her, had a baby by her, and she took him through the ringer. So that little sneaky shit that you did do, you paid for that. You paid every bit for that.
But nonetheless,
look,
he's still
Karma Johnson is a bitch.
But how close were you and Kelly?
Me and Kelly, we was, let's say, scale of 1 to 10, we was about a 6. We ain't never smack. You know, so it really didn't affect me. You know, once I found out about it, I was like, all right, you got that. You know what I mean? You know,
how close were you and him?
Me and him, we was close, but not to the point where we was pals.
Then this don't count then.
It don't count.
When I say dirty former friends, I'm talking about real friends. I'm not talking about somebody.
What do you consider dirty?
Well, son, let's put it like this. If I call you my friend, I call you my brother. Like you're not my friend, you my brother. I don't call you my brother and use that term lightly. You know what I mean? You know, certain people, you know, that comes into you in your life and comes into you in your space, you know, you know the type of person they are. Like I couldn't call Buck Wild my brother.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't call Denny my brother. I couldn't call other people that's in that circle my brother. You know, I know that if I know for a fact that if I'm out with Son and we doing a comedy show and something go down, Son throwing. You know what I mean? But I can't say that about the other two because I think the other two gonna be running.
Okay, this is let me answer Kim's question. The dirty part is, first of all, when I say a friend, I'm talking about somebody that you really would consider a friend. Maybe you consider him a brother or sister or whatever. Whatever it is, y'all are close. Y'all are not, you know, y'all talk to each other on a regular basis. Y'all was cool like that. People would ask about the other one if they saw you. You know what I mean? I'm talking about somebody that you, even if it wasn't a situation where y'all were together all the time, there was a mutual respect, admiration, love, whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all was genuinely no holds barred, no bullshit, cool with each other. Y'all was friends, real friends. The dirty part comes in after the dirty part comes with the violation, but even more so the response to the violation, the way that they handled the way that they did you wrong. So like I said, let's say, because I was explaining to Guado Legends when he called in Like, let's say, it doesn't always have to be a situation where one person is all the way right and the other person is all the way wrong. Y'all could have been cool because y'all both did dirt together. So let's say y'all rob motherfuckers together, or y'all swap stories about the kind of shit that y'all do. You know what I mean? But your man got locked up for an unrelated crime, ain't have nothing to do with you, and he's in an interrogation room, and he decides to give you up on some bullshit because in order for him to be able to go home, or so he thought, or to get a lighter sentence. You know what I mean? So let's say y'all both drug dealers. But y'all like brothers. Y'all grew up with each other and all that kind of shit. But he give you up. He give you up to the feds. So he ain't doing football jersey numbers.
Mm.
That kind of shit. And of course he tried not to let you know that he told. But what happens when you give a statement? Statements have to be written down. No writing, no statement. And that statement is admissible in court. So your lawyer lets you know that your man told on you. You wasn't locked up for shit. They came and got you, put a warrant out for your arrest because your man been running his mouth about your operation and how you fit into it or whatever. And yeah, that's a dirty form of friends.
Okay, I got one for you. Yeah, I did. I can tell you this story. And this happened years ago.
Betrayal is different than mine.
This happened years and years ago. Both the boys that I grew up with, one of them was like my boy. Like, we was tight like brothers.
Okay.
And he was getting ready to go down Broad and Airy. What used to be the go-go bar that was around down there on Broad and Airy?
Studio 37.
We went there.
So I hear.
Huh?
I think that was the name of it. So I hear they had.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
So we go there. Right? And get some drink. You think that was the name of it?
Something like that. It was.
He knew what the name of it is.
I don't know.
We turn back around. We go in there, and my boy, he's driving a hoopty. So I'm in there. I ain't really got no coins on me, because I ain't get paid yet. But they got a pocket full of coins because they doing their thing. They street pharmaceutical firms.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned the fuck back around and I didn't see him.
Okay.
Right. So I come outside and I'm looking for him. The car not there. So I bumped into another one of my boys. Now these boys are from South Philly. So I bumped into another one. This one is like damn near my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen him. I was like, yo, you seen Malika? I said, you seen Malika Lamar? He's like, yeah, they just crashed somebody's car. Somebody bends up with their car and spat off and left me there.
Okay.
I said to myself, they left me there after they crashed the bull car up and left me there to the wolves.
But they should have left you there. You shouldn't be upset about that. Why do you want to be in the car with them when they just did some dirty stuff?
No, but why would you leave me there? They know that I'm with them, and y'all leave me there.
The first place.
If y'all going to do some stupid shit like that, and y'all both pull off in the car, and y'all on y'all way back down the way, and y'all leave me there, my life is in danger now.
You mean at the scene of the crime?
Right.
But okay. you didn't. They don't know who knew that you were with them or.
They seen me with them.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? They seen me with them when they came in the door. So Greg was like, "Yo, come on, get in the car. We gonna ride back down there." I seen him. I was like, "Yo, first and foremost, you lucky I'll knock you the fuck out." I said, "You lucky," but I said before I even think about doing that, don't fuck with me no more.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. So you stopped being friends with them because of that?
I stopped fucking with them because that could have been something that could have been detrimental to my life, man.
But would you consider them to be dirty?
That to me, that's dirty to me. Because it's like this. If me and you go somewhere, son, right?
No, I know what you're about to say. I get that. But the thing
and that's
is,
the whole thing about it. If you do something like that, somebody might say that's not major. That shit is major. You crash. You driving a hoopty. You driving a hoopty, and this boy driving a Benz.
Yeah, no. My thing is this. And I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, but I'm thinking if both of them, you know, if they push weight or whatever, and you don't, and even though they was driving that hoopty, they might have had product in the car. They may have had major reasons for they know that you not in that game. You a citizen, so it's like, you know, if they left you at the scene of the crime, they probably wasn't really worried about you getting into nothing with anybody because you weren't in the car when it crashed. You know what I mean? So for all they know, you was just an associate who just happened, who was riding with them or whatever. Maybe you just caught a quarter ride with them, but they might have looked at it like they had more to lose than you. And my thing is, the thing that would have made them dirty is how they would have handled it afterwards. Like if they didn't acknowledge that they just left you out there, or if they tried to kick it like you just didn't want to ride in the car, or like it was your fault.
Well, pretty much, they did acknowledge it.
You said they didn't
acknowledge it, and they know for a fact if they was dirty, I wouldn't have been in that car.
They might have lied. Now you know damn well.
In that car.
I mean, I understand, but sometimes cats is dirty. They don't mention the dirt. Sometimes,
the fact that if you dirty like that, you don't go and ram the door of a Mercedes Benz with a damn cheap ass car that you driving.
So wait, so they hit the car on purpose?
On purpose.
How do you know that? If you didn't see you didn't see it.
Because my boy Craig told me. My boy Craig told me. He said
you wasn't in the car with them. If they did it on purpose, I don't know. If they did it on purpose,
that's a weird thing to do. Like, yeah, why would they?
It is weird. Like, I don't understand.
Like, why would they do that?
They did that shit on purpose, bro.
But
I don't know if they knew the boys. I don't know if they knew them. I don't know if they had words with them. I don't know what the fuck happened. I know that I was inside chilling, and they left out that door, got in that car, ran the door of the Benz, and sped off.
All right.
Would you have preferred them to tell you to come on and get in the car, and then they
never told me. They never said nothing like that.
No, I'm asking you though. Would you have preferred they do that? Would you have preferred that? Come on, man, let's go. Then you get in the car and go ram.
I'm rather you told me let's go than for you to do what the fuck you did, knowing I didn't. At that point in time, I didn't have coins in my pocket. I was just going down there with y'all just for the ride.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that part of it.
To be in the car with him.
I would prefer for them to let me know what's going on and let me make a decision on what I want to do.
Okay.
Don't just sit up here and don't sit up here and just do what you want to do, and I don't have a say so. That's the whole thing about it. If you're my boy, we tight like that, we brothers like that. You don't leave me in the trenches or something that you just did.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the one most important thing about it. Like I told my boy this before. We was looking at an episode of the First 48. He said, man, these motherfucking snitches. Man, these are they brothers. They tight as shit. I said, yeah, well, man, you tight as shit. I said, I'm going to let you know this much. I said, if I'm on the corner of the block waiting on a bus and you say, yo, Troy, come on, you need a ride down the way? I'll be like, yeah, I'll get the car. All of a sudden, the cops pull us over. And after he pull us over, they look and they find a gun and they find some weight. And they take both of us to the precinct, and you know I'm not into what you into, I'm going to sit back for about 25 minutes, half hour, 25 minutes, and wait for you to tell them that I don't got nothing to do with this shit. Because after about a half hour, I'm going to put my mixtape in and start spitting some lyrics. I'm going to start rapping. Because one thing about it is that if I'm not getting funds or coins like you doing, I'm not doing it. Now, if I get in the car and you tell me you dirty and I get locked up, I bought that. But if you don't tell me you dirty and I get in your car, oh no, fuck that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And if you my brother like that, and we tight that, you should know. Yo, he ain't got nothing to do with this, man. Thumbs up.
All right, so let's do this. Think about all of the people, just like the two dudes that you talking about. Think about all of the people that you've ever been really close with. Now, out of all of the ones that you may have called your best friend or good friend or my man's and them and all of them, how many of those people can you find in your phone now? Like, let's say throughout your life, you've had 5 people that you could call, that were best friends or something like that at any time in your life. How many of the 5 are still worthy of that type of conversation? How many of those can you say, oh yeah, I know where they live at. I could go see them right now. Or I can call them right now. Matter of fact, I've been meaning to check up on blah, 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 blah. How many do you have left?
I got a bunch of them in my phone.
Okay.
I got about a good 15.
Okay. So the ones who you can't do that with, like everybody that you may not be as close with anymore as you used to be, that doesn't put them in the dirty former friends department. The thing that puts them in the dirty former friends department is the fact that y'all did not part on good terms.
Right.
You know what I mean? Y'all didn't part on good terms, and they may have even made it worse. Like I was saying, let's say, instead of contacting you about a beef or falling out or something like that, they go to social media and start talking shit.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, you already know. I've been through that.
Well, I'm saying, but see, you've been through that, but that wasn't with a friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, hold up. At that point in time, I thought he was a friend.
See,
I did.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You thought he was a friend. All right, cool. But at the end of the day, it ain't like y'all grew up with each other. Y'all wasn't like boys from around the way. You know, one thing I learned about this entertainment game, you gotta watch who you call friends.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very situational.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of all of the cats that I was cool with in entertainment, you and Sean are the only ones left for me. Now, you know how many cats I done went out of town with, rode with, put on, you know what I mean? All of that shit. Talk to every day. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna say, you know what I mean? I'm not like you. I'm not giving them no shine. They don't get named on this show. You know what I'm saying? Only people who deserve to get named will be named on anything I'm dealing with, because if I name you, that means we still cool. Other than that, there's no need. You sure ain't gonna name me, and none of you. You're not gonna promote me. I'm not gonna promote you, positively or negatively. But what I'm saying is, out of all of those people, it became clear how I was cool with certain cats because time told. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Time told. So, but I'm okay with that, because I didn't lose them as friends. I lost them as acquaintances. I lost them as associates. I lost them as colleagues, because I knew them from work. You know, regardless of how you look at it, we was working. And that's how I knew them. I knew them from work. And you know how it is. Some people from work are cool, and some people at work, You know what I mean?
I wonder if it's different. I wonder if it's different because I'm a woman. My thoughts of the betrayal are just slightly different because I'm a woman. I don't know.
Well,
I hear what you're saying, but some of my betrayals that I'm like cut people off for are so different.
For me to use a word like betrayal, like it goes deep. That's not a word I use loosely. So if you like, yeah, like just because you dissed me or shitted on me or whatever, you didn't betray me.
No.
When you betrayed me, you taken you have taken my feelings of trust and dependence, and you have totally destroyed that. You know what I mean?
Well, betrayal to me is when you insult my character, or you basically slap me in the face when I've exposed myself to you. When I've exposed my world to you, my family, my people, my life, and you shit on that. That to me is betrayal. Betrayal. So for me, two. One, and I'm not going to use names because I'm just not. One is somebody I was friends with for over 30 years. And this man has been around my family. He's been in my home, family's home. He's been in my grandmother's home. He's put his feet under her table and has eaten at her table, eaten her food. All the things. And because my grandmother was an old-fashioned kind of grandmother, so, she wasn't going to let an unmarried man stay at his house, no matter how he worked. However, somebody had shot, he came to visit, and he wasn't like my boyfriend or nothing like that. He really was a friend. Like, we had a circle, we all hung out together. Somebody was ran down our street shooting, and his gas tank was shot by accident. And so he was allowed to spend the night until the morning, till everything died down and, get his car together. So, and he was close with my grandmother. Okay. However, when my grandmother passed, I just wasn't in a space to recognize who was there and who wasn't. So I didn't even recognize that he wasn't present just because I was in my own space. And then one day, maybe 2 weeks later, he contacts me and he says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I wasn't there for Mama Rose's funeral and I wasn't there for you. But my girlfriend," and as soon as he said that, there was a rage inside of me because fuck her. That's how I feel. Fuck your girlfriend. This bitch is new in your world. We've been friends since before either one of us became parents. This wasn't that's your ex and you running over your ex and y'all just kicking and going to the movies. This was the loss of my grandmother. And even if you couldn't come in person, you didn't even bother to pick up the phone and call and show any kind of support for me or my family. You didn't even call my brothers. You didn't call anyone because your girlfriend had an issue because she knew you used to like me. So you're saying fuck us because of this bitch? And in that moment, I was like, I'm good.
I'm laughing. Let me explain some details. I'm laughing at how you're saying it. Because when you curse, that shit sound real harsh.
Yeah, that shit cut deep. You know what I mean? These are not, this deep emotions. This deep, some people curse, some people swear she cuss. Like, you're like, she cussed at me. But let me, but you know what, Kim, I'm thinking like this. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Now, but I have a question about the dirty part of what they are. See, I'm not going to consider you to be dirty because you're soft. I'm not going to consider you to be so. I'm just being real. I'm not going to consider you to be dirty because you're a coward. I'm not because you don't have a backbone. That's not what makes you dirty. What makes you dirty for me is when you try to change the narrative of what you've done to other people so you can look like you didn't do anything wrong, or like you would, or like.
I feel like that's what he did do, because he told everybody when my response was, "Don't ever call me again." He took it to the street.
Okay.
And he told everybody in the circle and anyone who could listen, like, "Yo, Kim is she's mean, and she's so mean to everybody, and I don't fuck with her because she da da da." It's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, why are you telling people like I did something to you? So to me, that's where that became betrayal, because you were the one wrong here, but you went out to the streets and told the world, because now it's an intrusion on my character. Now you are inflicting who I am as a person. Now you are out here trying to get sympathy and spreading a false narrative about me and the situation. So that's where the dirty part comes in for me, because, nigga, you should have just walked away. Like, when I said don't talk to me again, hey, maybe let me cool off a little bit and wait a while, we'd be good. But instead of doing that, he took it out to the world, and he tried to be the victim, and it's like, oh, you don't get to do that. And this is not the time to play that game with me, because I'm not in a space. So you or anybody to be the victim.
Word.
So where the betrayal comes in to me, because now you have turned this into your show. This is the you show. This is the narcissist you show, because you did something wrong. And you anticipated how I was supposed to respond.
Rather than own your shit, you made the decision to go around and badmouth you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can understand that.
That's a betrayal to me.
No, I understand that. But listen, y'all, we got one of y'all got to drop off, because we got somebody else that want to call in.
I'm gonna drop off. Go ahead, Kim. I want to hear what you guys say, because I like when you curse.
I hate you, Joy.
Bitch. Yo, I called back. It was 5 minutes left.
All right.
Yeah, because I have one more too. Now, this one I think is definitely different, because it's the male-female thing, and I'd love to get the opinion of all the males, because, yeah, this is a different kind of betrayal for me too.
Okay, cool. All right.
Definitely a male-female thing.
I'm gonna try to. Let me see.
Thank you, Troy.
Hold on. Where's the joint? All right. Okay, there we go. All right, hold on a second.
You have a call from.
All right. There you go. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's good?
Oh, shit.
How you feeling?
Right. I'm all right. No swearing. We good. What's up, Sonny? How we doing, dog?
Man, I'm feeling like a real man should. You already know. What's on your mind tonight?
That's what we want to hear. Hey, yo, how those Eagles doing? Hey.
Super Bowl 59 champions. Easy money. Easy money.
That's what we like to hear. Although, my Patriots got a little Will Campbell on there to argue with that. But hey, I'm wondering what. I'm sitting here hearing all this stuff. What's the big scoop on tonight? What are we all talking about? I dropped in late.
Man, you've been listening all this damn time. You know exactly what we're talking about.
I've been listening. I came in halfway through. I went out drinking. I ain't a part of this.
So you made me clear my line for this shit. Is that what you telling me?
Hey, Sonny, don't get mad at me, man. I never call. I wanted to be a part of this.
We talking about dirty former friends. So people that you were cool with, and they just they violated your trust, violated your admiration. They just they just
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a few of those. Oh hell yeah. Let's see how we going. I got a couple friends who shit. When I was in college, go back to college. You got those homies who shit. Sorry, I'm swearing way too much. We go. Damn.
I swear to God, y'all motherfuckers. I swear to God, boy. All right. So, tell me about a friend that betrayed you or shitted on you and made it worse by how they handled the situation once they were exposed.
I mean, dude. Oh shit. Nah, yeah, this is a bad call for me. Actually, I got it pretty good. I haven't had too many people betray me.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, generally, there's like little things, of course, but also at the same time, like, unless they're doing some real stuff, it's like, forgiveness is all part of it, You gotta kind of take things in stride.
You think so?
It's, of course. I mean, that's what I think. Of course, there's always argument towards it. There's always like people who can say, like, depending on the situation, it's like, well, there's something, someone did some crazy stuff, and it's like, all right, maybe that's an argument. But at the same time, unless it's literally life ruining, there's always a chance of being like, well, you screwed up. We can get past it. We can be cool. So like, I believe in forgiveness first.
Okay. But what if it's the thing is I lend credence into how I feel about something. It's not necessarily all about the act itself, but it may have a lot to do with the way I feel about the act. You understand what I mean? So
Okay.
So let's say something may be a small. Let's say, all right, I don't know. Let's say you stole. Let's say I had some money out on the table. You stole $25, $50. Maybe you didn't steal all the money, but you stole $25, $50 or whatever. No, nothing that's going to send me to the poorhouse or keep me from retiring. But the bottom line is I trusted you, to be in my home unattended, and you violated that trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you may have lied about, and then you may have lied about whether you did it or not, which made the situation worse.
What's the little saying? What is it? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgotten, It's like, I might forgive, but I'm not going to forget that you did it. It's like, it's always in the back end, but at the same time, like, like, nothing's going to get done in this world if everything's based off of grudges and being like, hey, you betrayed me, I'm never going to forget that. Like, every once in a while, unless it's some crazy stuff, you gotta let things go. People are living their lives.
But do you and that person stay in the same level? Does that person have the same position in your world once they do something like that to you?
Oh, no.
Even if you forgive them, you don't forget, but do they hold the same weight in your space that they held previously?
Hey, in your life, nobody should hold the same weight as you. Doesn't matter the context, unless you're dealing with something that directly influences your life, it shouldn't matter as much as you dealing with your own stuff.
That's a good way to look at it. I get it.
I mean, it's a way to look at it. It's a way to look at
whatever,
it.
if something comes up with someone else, all right, sure, they betrayed, but at the same time, unless it directly influences you, it's like, what's gonna happen besides you saying, all right, cool, later, or being like, all right, well, I'm gonna forgive that, and we're gonna make our peace, recompense, and we'll move on from there.
Well, it has to be worth the moving on. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm big on trust. I'm not gonna deal with somebody that has violated my trust, because that's a what do they call it? A deal breaker for me. If I can't trust you to be in my house without trying to hit on my woman or steal money from me, or steal from me or something like that, I don't need you in my house. And if I don't want you in my house, you can't be a friend, because I welcome friends into my home. I don't feel threatened. I don't feel threatened by being violated by anybody I call a friend. So
I mean, you definitely got a point there for sure. Like when it hits the lines, it's like there's not much you can do past that. There's no sense of like being forgiven once someone's crossed the line of like once they've crossed that line of no forgiveness, of being like, yo, you passed it, we done, like this relationships end here and you have far crossed it, but at the same time, like there are certain things, especially in this world, I feel like people nowadays kind of like they take they take everything to the far end, where a lot of things can be taken back, and it's just kind of like, hey, people screw up. I mean, someone takes $50 from you, give them a little slap on the back, be like, hey, you owe me $50. Like, there's checks, like checks and balances,
No,
Your slap on the back is different. Your slap on the back is a pat. My slap on the back is I'm gonna slap your ass to the ground.
Yeah, but you don't owe me
Hey,
money.
I said slap on the back to be nice. It's always a slap on the back of the head,
If you steal from me, you don't owe me anything. I owe you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I owe you. And I'm going to deliver. But there won't be another chance for you to steal from me. There won't be another chance for you to violate me.
No.
But I'm not talking about somebody or anybody that I was loosely cool with. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be a chance that I should ever have to worry about somebody I consider to be a close friend violating me in that way, because there should be a mutual respect there. We should know each other very well. We should understand each other, and we shouldn't have those kind of problems. Now, I say the words shouldn't, because you never know, but I know for me, I'm not going for that. And I'm not a person that's in search of new friends all the time. I'm not one that's I'm not very dependent on my social circle. So whoever is in my sphere is supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And then they're really not
exactly.
at this stage in my life. You know what I mean? The value that I hold on certain people is high. I'm not fucking around these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need friends to club with and go chase girls with. I'm past all of that. So if you
I feel that 100%. Look, I'm turning 30 this year, and it's definitely that year where I'm being like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know. But it's finally that year of me being like, yo, the people who are close to me, like, I'm gonna keep them connected. Like, everybody who's out, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the people who are in, like, I'm gonna keep note of them. And then as like life goes on, and like you said, like with checks and balances, and like they're the people who I keep close. they're the ones who I'm actually gonna like keep note of and keep track of and all that, you know. So I don't know. I think like once you get to that point, it's like honestly, are the people that are that close like, like is it that big of a deal? I mean, unless obviously if they're stealing from you, that's one thing. Like stealing's, you know, I mean, shit, that's a literal sin. Well, I think that's a 10th commandment right there, you know. But like aside from that, like if you're keeping them close, you know, there's a reason you brought them in. Like,
Okay, here's something for you. So let's piggyback off of the fact that son said this is someone he trusts, because I'm big on trust too. If I trust you in my home, I trust you in my space, I trust you around my family, because that's a big one to me. If I trust you around my son, my nieces, my nephews, my dad, my sisters, my brothers, and I trust you, because everybody can't come around my family. It's disrespectful. Mm-hmm. So if I trust you around my people and in my personal space, and you do something to betray that trust, and then I'll bet it all. So we won't even go on the stealing part. It's a safety thing, because if I felt safe around you forever, and then I don't feel safe around you anymore.
Right.
So to me, that is a form of betrayal. So here's my example.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
So here's my example, because I have a lot of guy friends. I grew up around boys because I got brothers and male cousins I grew up with. So I have a lot of guy friends or an associate. This one in particular, we have been friends forever, since we were young, since we were kids, and it's never been nothing, just friends. Mm-hmm. When I moved, he'd come and spend the night at my house. He'd hang out with my cousins and I, friends, everybody. Like, it's always been, I never felt uncomfortable around him. And we've been friends forever and a million days. I trusted him with secrets and the same. One day, a few years ago, I was just going through a lot of different stuff with this house. And I just got in a bad situation. I just got caught up with a con artist company. So basically, in order for me to keep the house, I needed $50,000. Mm-hmm. I didn't tell anyone. I just dealt with it on my own. And so one day he's like, your mood has been off. You've been in such a shitty mood lately. Something's wrong. You won't tell anybody. Tell me what's going on. You know, you can tell me anything. Now, I'm not asking him for anything, but I go on and tell him, you know, this is what's happened, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. He's like, you know, because he has a different life than I have, and he's my friend, but because of that life he has, he's limited to come around me because I never know, you know, what's going to happen. So, excuse me, it's not that we stopped being friends, it's just I had to distance myself for my own peace. And so he's like, you know, I do yada, yada, yada. I got you. Anything you ever need, if you ever just ask me, you know I got you. And I'm like, no, I didn't want to ask anybody. Da, 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 da. So he's like, look, in 2 days, I'm going to take care of this. I'm like, well, I got you back if that's what we're going to do. Yada, yada, yada. We draw up a contract, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
That night he called, and he's like, hey, what you doing? Da, 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 da. He's like, man, you know, you've always looked out for me. When I didn't have no place to lay my head, you looked out for me. You fed me. when I was doing dirt, blah, blah, blah. Protected me, you, your family, yada, yada. I got you. I wouldn't let you lose, da, 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 da. I always got your back. And then he said, man, we don't have to drop a contract. You don't owe me nothing.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I've always felt like XYZ. And all you would have to do is, and I don't need to say nothing further because y'all know, mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in that moment, something inside me was like, what the? Like it took a minute for my brain to register what was
contractor with
to me.
stipulations. Yep.
Yes, because first of all, I didn't ask you for anything. But more importantly, we've always been friends forever. And you've never said anything out of pocket or tried anything. So what is this that you're saying to me? I felt insulted. I felt betrayed. And at that moment, I feel like I can't trust you in my presence now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only spoken to him one other time since, and that was to let him know. Because after that, I didn't talk to him anymore. And even after he came and knocked on the door, I just wouldn't answer. And I wouldn't answer his call. And then eventually I did. After about a year and a half, I did. And he's like, what happened here? Did something happen to you? I thought something bad happened to you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I'm not fucking with you no more. And he couldn't understand why. When I told him why, all of a sudden he became the victim. I can't believe you would act like that. Like, man, you should take it as a compliment. Any woman would take it as a compliment that all this time I've been looking at you and I always thought da-da-da-da-da, but I never said nothing because you my home girl, and I didn't want to offend you and make you feel uncomfortable. But I always been thinking da-da-da-da. No. So I have some people who side with him and some who side with me. Surprisingly, it's more of women who side with him.
Okay.
And they feel like, well, they feel like I'm wrong because he didn't physically do anything to me and he didn't say anything to me so insulting. But what I heard was, today I think you're a whore. Today I'm going to prostitute you. You are nothing but a bitch to me.
It's like,
so that's what the word felt like.
It does not matter how it was said, how it was done, how it went between two. It is still it is propositioning. That is propositioning. Like the baseline, he is trying to get you to do X for X. You know.
There was no respect.
Look,
there
y'all.
Was no respect.
I have respect for both of y'all, but it's 4:00. So.
Okay.
Oh.
So
that Philly time, baby.
Yeah. So you know how that go. Listen, I appreciate both of y'all calling in. I appreciate the commentary, the examples. I appreciate everything. Thanks for calling in. Y'all know we'll be back tomorrow, and then we gonna be talking about some hot shit tomorrow. So make sure y'all come on through. Y'all have a good night. Be safe.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, my man. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, let's look at the results of the polls. Then we're going to do these birthday shout outs and then we go bye-bye. All right. What's the worst violation that a friend could commit? Having sex with a love or a spouse. 59%. Clearly outpacing everything else. 15% said stealing from you. 8% said social media violations, and 19% says being violent with you. So pretty much everybody believes that, somebody sleeping with your partner, your spouse or your love or whatever is definitely a violation. Probably one that can't be recovered from. However, I know plenty of people who have actually recovered from that. Go figure. Go fucking figure. It always was a point of contention, and it definitely came up again and again and again at certain times, especially if there was ever alcohol involved. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. Last day of April, April 30th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special. S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the diggy dang. My girl, Victoria. How you? Wait, hold on. Don't do that. They wait until it's time for me to do these damn birthday shout outs. Now, this shit. Now the app wanna act dumb. All right, number one out the box, my girl Victoria Betrayal Staples, and Artfully Done, and also Inky Janine, and Trisha Shields, Patricia Hunter, Janessa Johnson, Miraculous Credit Morris, and last but not least, my girl Janelle Relaford. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious April 30th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on to do the jam to damn to rock out. Rock on to do the damn rock out. Rock on to do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. I said go hard, go for yours. And remember, we was boys, we were the greatest. And yo, did you hear about the latest? Yo, we are as far apart as it can be. It's something like when Moses parted the seas. You on one side, I'm on the other side. And back in the day, I never thought we'd divide, but we had to do it. And I'm not hiding from you. You ain't hiding from me, but you probably should see. When I considered you to be my brother, I was really thinking that I get violated by no other. Especially not you. You know how we do. We used to run around here recruiting for the crew. You was my right and I was your left, and we used to be out there doing it to death. But I found out a part of your character that wouldn't let me come back. I'm get at you. And I didn't think that I could forgive. Yeah, I'ma go on. I'ma always wanna live. And I'ma do that, get through that. But yo, back to that friendship, I can't get to that. You left me out there, made me feel bad. This was more than just some irritating shit made me mad. This runs deep into the whole psyche. Yo, do it again, not likely. So I had to cut you off like ice cream. The shit is soft. Would you get your hard and try to pull cards? It's sort of like Bishop and Juice. You at the funeral when you killed the nigga. Damn, dude. It won't happen. You lucky I ain't get the gat and start snapping. Cause sometimes you feel like when somebody takes your whole world of trust away, that ain't your day. So you might as well make it your last. And I'ma tell you something, I'ma get up in this thing fast. No Diddy, none of that bullshit. This is my city. We used to own it together and now ties are severed. And it's not a good look. Yo, left is shook. Everybody asking what happened. Fucking look on the book. Cause the motherfuckers Twitter fingers. And I ain't down with that shit. And he knows that I'm a dead ringer. Man, I ain't trying to put you 6 feet deep. There's enough world around this motherfucker that I have to creep. But it's gonna be alright one way or another way. We gonna see a day when you gonna have yours, I'ma have mine. My name is Sun752, sun always shine. And I'ma make sure that I put everybody under the sun. I ain't the top of the pops, but I ain't really the one. So I'm gonna let you do your thing. You can tell everybody how you was really right. Get the fuck out of here before we fight. And you don't wanna do that, kid. You don't really want that, kid. You don't want the smoke, and this ain't no joke. You know, the weed we used to tote together, roll the shit. I could trust you, but now I wouldn't. And I know that I shouldn't, and so I ain't. So I'm gonna get back to this bag later on, and you can't. So don't tell me when your mom got sick or your grandma passed, cause I don't hear that shit that lasts. All right, yeah, I got sympathy for them. I'ma send flowers, but you better not ever come around my way, motherfucker. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another Daily Go-Get-Amism show. So make sure y'all come on through. We are trying to, this was hump day. We trying to power through this week. It ain't been easy. It ain't been easy, but still we rise, right? Rise, rise, rise. All right. Y'all have a good night. No exceptions, man. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope y'all enjoyed watching the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. T. Carey, right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. Thanks. I hope you brought a late pass. I'm going to check it out later on. Peace.